What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning, happy new year. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is Friday, January 16, 2026, and we're at the Polderbaan, first stream of the year. Still with the old tripod, unfortunately. It was supposed to arrive on Wednesday, then it became yesterday, and then yesterday evening it became today. So chances are that while I'm out here streaming, my new tripod will be delivered, nobody will be home. I will probably need to pick it up at a pickup point tomorrow. Hardly any wind, so I'm out here with the dead cat and the ambient microphone on the camera. Should give a bit better audio than when you are using the blimp. Finnair up next, flight 1301, arriving from bloody Helsinki in Finland. Not an A350 but an A320 today. 2 747s arriving, and the A380 is a bit late, will arrive between 1 and 2, so that will go to the center runway. The 2 747s are expected for this runway if I'm not mistaken, although let's double check in a moment. Might be that the second one is still arriving when there are parallel arrivals in progress. In the meantime, a very good morning to everybody who's joined. Marja, goedenavond. Jackie, goedemorgen. Klaas, goedemorgen. Stefan, good morning. Richard, Leo, Jeroentje, Diane, Tina, goedemorgen, good morning. Gineke, Manzi, good morning. Lucia, goedemorgen. Super Eminent, goedemorgen, good morning. Welcome back, everybody. So, the sun is slowly but surely getting out more and more. When I left home it was still overcast, but if you look all around you can see more and more blue sky. The wind is blowing from the south-southwest, so from over there more or less. We're not expecting any rain for today, at least not in the upcoming hours during the stream. This is what the scale of chimney smoke is looking like. Hardly any movement. Next up, Qatar. Qatar Cargo arriving from Doha. There's also a Qatar Airways on the way. That's the A350-1000. Should be landing here shortly before the A380. Although probably also on the wrong runway. Hey, Steven also back. Good to see you, mate. Ramon, goedemorgen. Paul, good morning. Welcome back, mate. Dini, goedemorgen. Niels, goedemorgen. Bobbers, good morning. David Wolf, good morning. Daniel, goedemorgen. Welcome back, everybody. So yeah, blue sky for the majority of the sky here right now. That quickly opened up. An hour ago it was still overcast. There you go. Looking pretty good here. Next up, KLM flight 668 arriving from Austin in Texas, 7879 Dreamliner. It's flight time 8 hours 28 minutes. The Papa Hotel Bravo Hotel Mike. 8-year-old airplane, first flight August 2017. Hey Greet, goedemorgen. Rob, goedemorgen. Ja, lekker geskiet. Ski trip was excellent. Particularly the day with Wolfgang was really fun. 4 out of 6 days we had good weather. The last 2 days a bit more cloudiness and also some snow. Didn't ski full days on those 2 days. With accumulating fatigue, reduced visibility. Wouldn't want to take any risks. But it was a great vacation, absolutely great. First membership anniversary celebration of the year is going to Marja. Marja, thank you so much and congratulations for your ongoing support as a member. 27 months already. 2 years, 3 months and counting. Welcome back. You missed all the snow in Holland, she writes. Yeah, well, I didn't really miss it. I had snow myself, but it was nice to see the pictures from back home. A lot of snow. Nice for people, particularly for young people who never actually saw substantial snow in their lives in the Netherlands before. First time for them. Older people, of course, still remember. I still remember during high school, it froze so hard there was even an Elfstedentocht. But thank you so much for your ongoing support, Maria, and of course everything you've been doing ever since you became a moderator. I hope both are still to your liking. You know how to reach me if either of the two is no longer the case, and I urge you to do so if that should be the case. Jackie says, let me be the second. 31 months and counting. Mate, thank you so much for your ongoing support, not just as a member but also as a very valuable moderator. 31 months and counting. And the third anniversary for Stefan. Cheers to you, boy, for an amazing 2026. Cheers to you too, Stefan. Happy New Year. Hope 2026 will bring you everything that you wish for. Stranger also celebrating, and Steven as well. 28 and 14 months respectively. So the first 5, if I counted correctly, membership anniversaries already in the pocket. Thank you both, Stranger and Steven, for both your ongoing support. Wombat Parade is also celebrating. Wombat Parade has a special celebration. Wombat Parade has turned green. That's the one that Greenpeace always likes. A year and counting. 1 year. Thanks for the streams, boy. Wombat Parade writes, thank you so much for the ongoing support, Wombat Parade. And thank you, Steven. And thank you, Stranger. And thank you, everybody else. This is Air Dolomiti, by the way, arriving from Frankfurt. That's a short flight. Only 15 minutes, but it took me almost 5 hours by car to get there from home. What a difference. You think it's not that far, but when you drive, it is actually pretty far. Hey Aphrodite, goedemorgen. Nordic Sim Racer, good morning. QJ, goedemorgen. Mike W, goedemorgen. Nordic Sim Racer, good morning. David Wolf also celebrating 3 months and counting, no double digits, but every bit counts, right? Absolutely. And slowly but surely, those single digits will turn into double digits. So just be patient and you'll see. Thank you so much for your ongoing support as well, David Wolf. And Henrik is also celebrating a double digit celebration, 20 months. And he writes, good morning, boy, mods and viewers. Good morning to you too, Henrik. Happy New Year. Hope all is well. And wishing you and yours the best for 2026. Air Arabia Morocco in the meantime is arriving. It's arriving from Tangier, which is in Morocco in the north of Africa. Now the last stream you guys probably noticed if you watched it on replay, there's no live chat anymore. Apparently that is what happens if you have to edit a live stream after the fact, which is what I had to do. Got a copyright claim from Warner for using the X-Files theme song. So that sound effect has now gone into retirement. Although, in hindsight, it doesn't really affect business that much. It's just ad revenue, and that's only a fraction of total revenue. But still, the first valid copyright claim. I was surprised because the sound effect was 23 minutes into the stream, and I always thought that if you used a little sound effect later in your video, it wouldn't get noticed, but apparently it did. There you go. E2 Umbrella 195 from KLM, flight 1570 is arriving from Porto in Portugal. And after that, we are going to see Delta Airlines, the first Delta of the show. It's going to be an A330neo, flight 74 from Atlanta, Georgia. That's as good as near Steven's hometown, isn't it? Hans Horst, goedemorgen. Happy New Year. Thijs, goedemorgen. Happy New Year. Sarah, good morning and Happy New Year. Colin, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. All right. Delta Airlines Flight 74 is up next. Let's do a quick check on Flight Radar to see what is coming in. Well, this is the status quo from some time ago. Let's update the weather. You'll see things have opened up. There's no more ceilings present. We do have 2 layers of clouds, few clouds and scattered clouds at 1200 and 1600 feet respectively. Wind is slowing down. It was double digits this morning. Now it has turned into single digit wind speed, which is why I also have left the blimp at home. Suparna will be the first, and Suparna, yeah, it's the first that was going to arrive at a bad time for us. 10:23. That means 11:23. So this is going to land on Polderbaan. Hey, and this was the one that earlier this morning was looking like it might... No, wait, 10... I'm still... There you go. That's what happens if you don't stream for 2 weeks. It's from 11 until 11:40 that we have parallel arrivals. So these 2 airplanes were never in danger of landing on the wrong runway. It's only the A380 that is arriving after 1 o'clock. That's definitely going to the wrong runway. This is Delta Airlines Flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. A330 Neo, November 425 Delta X-ray. Will it get loud? We'll soon find out. Not full blast, full thrust, full reverse thrust, but they definitely spooled up the reversers somewhat. Now, let's have a look. Yeah, that's Russell and his mate. Thought so. I'm standing before the bridge, but at a point where the grass is a bit more decent. Bit further back where I normally would stand, the tractors wreaked havoc, and as long as the soil is still soaking wet, which it still is, trotting there will require boots or wellies. There are birds in the water. Nice to see that the birds have returned. I'm counting at least 6. If you hear water, if you feel the urge to pee, it's because we're in relative proximity to this, well, whatever it is, vent. Not sure what to call it exactly, but sewage pipe, I think. Next airplane to arrive is going to be KM Malta Flight 394, arriving from, you guessed it, Malta. And I think this is bird control H1 coming this way, or is it? No, it's area 52. It's unrelated to bird control. In the meantime, good morning to everybody who has joined. Marianne, goedemorgen. Puya, good morning. Just Aviations, good morning. Bas, not sure if I already said hi, I probably did. Good morning. Hey, Martinair is also back in the chat. Martin, goedemorgen. Happy New Year, mate. 26 months with AMS Live. He is celebrating. I thank you so much for your continued support, Martin. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. Hope you will stay around for many more months to come. Congratulations and thank you for the support. If anything is amiss in the lounge, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. And that also goes for Caroline. Caroline Party also back in the chat, and she is celebrating 22 months today. Nice to see you back, boys, she writes. It's nice to see you too, Caroline. And thank you so much for your continued support. Congratulations on being a member now for 22 months. That's 2 more months before you'll be turning blue. That's the transition that Greenpeace always is a bit less happy about. People going green, that's okay. People leaving green in favor of blue, not so much. Still, haven't gotten any formal complaints yet from them, so I guess it's not that bad. If anything in the lounge is amiss, let me know, Caroline. Let me see what I can do to make things better. The Maze Movies, goedemorgen. Dopey, morgen. Jinshin, aloha mate. Welcome back, Happy New Year, good to see ya. Hope all is well. T-Mac, good morning, goedemorgen. Welcome back, mate, Happy New Year. Sigrid Friatna, who is tuning in from Indonesia, good afternoon and welcome to the show. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many are watching. Most of them are friendly. Together they are very knowledgeable and will happily try to answer your questions. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. It helps to bring in new people in the future. Subscribing also helps. It allows you to participate in the chat. It also allows you to post shit in the community section, although you do have to be a member, a subscriber for a week at least. That's to vet out any spammers. Putting on notifications will get you informed whenever new stuff is being posted. SAS is up next, flight 1553, arriving from Stockholm, an A320neo. After that, we are going to get a KLM Embraer 175, and after that, the second Delta A330, an A330-300, arriving from Orlando in Florida. Turkish is also in Dutch airspace already, Turkish flight 1951, that's an A330, and Suparna is also in Dutch airspace in the province of Drenthe, flying towards the province of Flevoland, slowly but surely coming this way. Vice Rahman is also tuning in from Indonesia. Good afternoon and welcome to the channel, mate. Happy New Year. Oh, I have to be careful here. It's getting slippery. Almost slipped when standing a bit further to the side. Hey, that's good to hear, Flores. If anything is running low, let me know and I'll put it on the groceries list. The twinkling of the next airplane over there, that's the Embraer 175. Visibility is very good, actually. Erik, goedemorgen. Ari, goedemorgen. Flight 001, goedemorgen. Fopneusje, goedemorgen. From, good morning, goedemorgen. SCS. Isaac. Flight 1553. That's Donald over there, all right. Donald and Daisy, I think Daisy is also there. They've been sighted. Even further back, there's more. So it's good to see that the birds are slowly but surely returning to the Polderbaan Canal as well. in immediate weeks after they finished the works here. It was eerily calm here in the water, but it's looking like it's slowly changing for the better. Gekke Fiets asks in Dutch if there are special airplanes underway. There are 2 747s underway, one of which is already in Dutch airspace. Suparna should land here probably in 10 to 15 minutes from now. I think it was around 23 that it was expected. The A380 is underway, but that is late today. It is going to be arriving here after 1 o'clock, and that means it's going to land on the wrong runway, the center runway. Then again, from here we can see that quite well. You should also probably hear the reversers quite well, since there is little to no wind. Super Eminent is asking about the vodka supply. It is good to go for another year. In fact, I'm having a small glass as we speak. Hey, Gilberto also back in the chat. Good morning, mate. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Hope all is well. So that's Delta Airlines Flight 90 arriving from Orlando, Florida, over there in the background. And over here is the KLM Embraer 175 arriving from Hamburg. Flight 1752, 42 minutes underway. Papa Hotel Echo X-Ray Papa. And that's an 8-year-old airplane, which began its career as a professional airplane in July 2017. Hey buddy, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see ya. Happy New Year. Good to be back. It is good to be back. Albeit only for a short period of time, because pretty soon my next skiing trip will commence. February 7th until the 14th. And as the crows fly, I will be less than, I think, 20-30 kilometers from the Olympics. Maybe Gilberto knows. How far is Canal from Cortina d'Ampezzo? 20 kilometers maybe? Maybe less? Maybe a bit more? The drive is long, but that's because of winding mountain roads. As the crow flies, it's not that far away. Hey, what a nice... This makes for a nice... Click. Took a picture with my camera. That might be a nice future thumbnail. Storm Eagle, good morning, goedemorgen. And buddy, congratulations and thank you for your ongoing support. Flying Dukman, aka Buddy, is celebrating 8 months of membership and he rides partying for 8 months already. With an occasional rest period, of course. Otherwise, what is the stuff you're using to be partying so long continuously? Hey, thank you so much for the ongoing support, Buddy. Buddy not only supporting in the form of a membership, but also regularly via PayPal. And not only that, he also helped develop the current widgets together with Simi, who did the majority of the part, but Barry also helped, and as we speak they are both working on making a new sort of app and a whole new layout of the streams. That's all I'm saying, because that's also most of what I understand. I get included in email exchanges that go over my head in technical terms. But the tidbits I see and understand are very, very promising. So stay tuned for that, because it's going to be amazing. That was Delta using their reversers, the first time an airplane used their reversers properly. And that was quite clearly audible, I think. Particularly with the ambient microphone attached to the camera. Next membership celebration, anniversary is being celebrated. It's Jeanette who is celebrating 6 months of membership. 6 and still enjoying every moment. Thank you, boy. Well, thank you so much for your kind words and for your continued support, Jeanette. If it is no longer to your liking, the streams, the chat, or anything else, let me know. I'm not saying it just to say something, I mean it. If there's something that you think can be improved on, let me know, and I'll look into it. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come, Jeanette. And thank you so much for the support thus far. This is Delta Airlines, flight 136, arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Hey Yassine, goedemorgen. Veronique, goedemorgen. Scottish Ernie is also back, celebrating 4 months of membership. Love the streams, he writes. Ernie, thank you so much for your kind words. Thank you so much for your support as well. Happy to hear that everything is still to your liking. If that's no longer the case, let me know. Thank you so much for the support thus far. Hope you will stick around for many more months to come. This is looking like, I think, a 777 of sorts, but I'm not sure. Hard to make out what it is, although if I had to guess, I'd say it was a 777. Outbound airplane having taken off from Polderbaan, no, not Polderbaan, Kaagbaan. I always keep confusing those. Mike asks, any ducks? And yes, certainly they have been sighted, but not here, further south. I definitely saw Donald, but I think they're now on this side of the canal and the reeds are blocking the view. But they have been sighted. They are further to the south behind me as the camera is now oriented. Hey Erik, goedemorgen. Gelukkig nieuwjaar. Welcome back. And the vacation in Austria was excellent. Thank you for asking, Erik. Air Arabia Morocco, arriving from Nador. And K5 in the house. Pretty close by. Nador, of course, in Morocco. That's in the north of. We're standing close enough to where we used to stand to have butt shots. Lovely butt shots. Hey René, goedemorgen. Beste wensen terug. Thank you so much. And it was Etihad from Manchester. Thank you, Storm Eagle, for letting us know. Another airplane passing by overhead. Not sure what that is. All right. Now, let's zoom out a little. Oh yeah, 3 consecutive wide bodies, the third of which will be the 747, the first 747 of the show, being preceded by 1 narrow body, and that's now number 1 to arrive. Croatia Airlines flight 450 arriving from Zagreb. So I'm thinking the 747 should be visible in the background somewhere. I'm looking over the camera mostly now to see if I can locate the 747, which should be somewhere over there. Croatia in Star Alliance livery. Airplane number 2 is turning in. Here in the foreground we have KLM flight 702 arriving from Buenos Aires. That's a 777-200. The airplane turning in, Turkish Airlines, flight 1951, arriving from Istanbul, A330-300. And behind that should be the Superna 747, flying base a little bit in the vicinity of Purmerend. So I'm thinking we need to position the camera more towards the scale of chimney smoke. I'm trying to find the 747, but I'm not succeeding. We'll see it soon enough. In the meantime, what a gorgeous glide slope shot this is. KLM Flight 702 arriving from Buenos Aires. 12 hours and 37 minutes underway now. The Papa Hotel, Bravo Quebec Charlie. And that's a 777-200, 22 years old already. First flight November 2003. A typical KLM style landing. Rolling out, keeping up the speed, vacate late, sooner to the gate. Next up, Turkish. And where is that 747? It should not be too far out anymore. And yet I am struggling to find it. You'd think with an open sky like this, it wouldn't be too hard to find, particularly since it should still be visible flying sideways. Ah yeah, got it. There it is. There's the 747, Superna. Turkish flight 1951 arriving from Istanbul, Turkey here in the foreground. 3 hours and 4 minutes on the way. Nominal flight duration 3 hours. The Tango Charlie Lima November Golf. And this airplane is 9 years old. First flight May 2016. The 747 now on final. Will be followed by a KLM 737-900. Is that the... No, that's not the SkyTeam liveried one. Alright, well, there's enough spatial separation for us to follow this landing a bit more elaborately. If there's reason to do so, of course. Runway is moist. And Turkish is doing a KLM style landing. No, nothing when it comes to the reversers. Lovely lighting. In the meantime, more clouds have drifted in. We began the show with more open skies than we currently have. This is what we see when looking in the direction of the wind. The glide slope view is still immaculate. There's our 747 with the 737-900 from KLM behind it. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to Klaas, who just now gifted no less than 10 memberships. Klaas, thank you so much. Those are the first gifted memberships of the year. I hope that everybody who just received a gifted membership from you will thank you for it and will enjoy the custom emojis that they'll now have at their disposal for a month. Use them, don't be shy. They're not on a budget, you can use them as often as you want, so have fun with them. Klaas, dankjewel. Thank you so much. That is incredibly generous. The first gifted memberships of the year. And welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Good morning, Geonetics. Goedemorgen, Marissa. Happy New Year. Good to see you again. Jolanda, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody. If you just joined us, you're just in time. The first queen of the show, there are two coming in today's show. The first one is already about to land. The next one is not too far off. I think 20 or so minutes. The A380 is late today. It is going to land on the wrong runway, but we should still be able to see it quite well from over here. I think it was expected around 120 or so. Howdy, Erik. Erik is celebrating 8 months of membership. Congratulations and thank you for the ongoing support. 8 months and a 747 now. Indeed. Things don't get much better than that, do they? Thank you so much, Erik, for your ongoing support. I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know. Suparna Airways arriving from Nanjing in China. Will it get loud? 11 hours and 6 minutes. It has been underway now. Let's look and listen. Sweet. Those pilots engaged the reverse thrust right as they passed us by, so timing was perfect. Hey Matthijs, goedemorgen. Jamuis, goedemorgen. Welcome back. Hey Glakmatrack, good morning. Absolutely beautiful. That was terrific. Hope the second 747 will be similar to this. This was quite a non-disappointing landing. One thrust reverser didn't work. Never even noticed it. So it was only 3/4 of the volume it could have been. This is the Bravo 1340, by the way. An airplane that's 18 years old. First flight was in July 2007. KLM Flight 462 is now landing. It's starting to smell like jet fuel here. That's what you get. When there's little to no wind, those fumes can linger a bit and can also drift your way. Hardly ever do you smell exhaust gases here. Only occasionally do you do so. 2 KLM wide bodies will be next. A787-10 first, KLM Flight 749 arriving from Cartagena in Colombia, and after that KLM Flight 758, and that's 777-300 arriving from Panama City. After that we are going to get, 2 more wide bodies. It's 4 consecutive wide bodies now, ladies and gentlemen. Third wide body is turning in, should become visible in a moment. That's Delta Airlines Flight 142 arriving from Seattle, Washington. A330 Neo and another KLM 777-300 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao after that. So that's 4 wide bodies starting from these 2. Now, according to Flight Radar, airplane number 3 should not be too far away anymore. And I think I have it, yeah, in the bottom third on the left. There it is. That's Delta Airlines Flight 142 arriving from Seattle. 3 airplane glide slope shot. And a happy belated New Year to you too, airplane dancers. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you and yours as well. May 2026 bring you a lot of health, happiness and prosperity. Hey, it's the KLM 100 years. Now you really didn't have to use a super chat to wish me Happy New Year, airplane dancers, but thank you so much for doing it. Have a look at this. 3 airplanes now on the glide slope, 3 wide bodies, KLM Flight 758 in the middle, arriving from Panama City, 777-300 sandwiched in between the next KLM 777-300 is Delta Airlines Flight 142. So it's 2 KLM 777s on the far left, on the far right, and in the middle we have Delta Airlines Flight 142 arriving from Seattle, Washington. That's an A330neo. In the meantime, Adrie, goedemorgen. And thank you so much for your gifted membership, Stefan. The recipient of the membership is Jurk, another Jurk. Welcome to the Aurora Skyline, Jurk. Have fun with the custom emojis. Don't forget to say thank you to Stefan. Stefan, thank you so much, mate. Marcel, goedemorgen. Now, we're looking at the best looking bit of the sky here right now. It used to be mostly blue all over, but now looking behind me, cloudiness is drifting in, and I'm afraid that this gorgeous glide slope visibility is going to be a bit less dramatic pretty soon, with the backdrop also getting more cloudy. Visibility is still okay. I think we should still be able to see the airplanes quite well, but they stand out more against the blue sky, of course, than against the cloudy backdrop. If you just joined us, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are here at Polderbaan, runway 18 right, the only runway in use for arrivals right now for another half hour. If you only tuned in moments ago, you may have missed the first 747 of today's show. There are 2 in total expected for today's show. The next one should be arriving pretty soon, actually. Now, if you guys are enjoying views like this and you haven't done so already, don't forget to leave a like. It really helps to bring in more viewers in the future. Subscribing also helps, not only to bring in more viewers, but also to help yourself get notified whenever stuff is happening on the channel, or if you want to participate in the live chat, or if you want to post in the community section. Although for the latter, you will have to be a subscriber for a week at least. That's to weed out any potential spammers. Hey Gerrit, goedemorgen. Happy New Year, mate. Donna, good morning. Happy New Year. Welcome back. Mr. Mika, good morning. Ham, goedemorgen. Happy New Year to you all. Welcome back. Delta Airlines Flight 142 is right now the next airplane to land. It's an A330neo. And apparently A330neos are also quite capable of producing flap tip vortices. A321neos are also quite capable of producing them, more so than other airplane types. You can definitely see a distinction between certain airplane types and others when it comes to producing vortices under high humidity circumstances. Hey Wouter, goedemorgen. Happy New Year, mate. Welcome back. Thibault, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Paul, good morning, guten Morgen und herzlich willkommen. Tuning in from Kiel. Bob, good evening. Happy Poets Day, mate. Welcome back, Happy New Year to you as well. Alright, another 777-300 KLM flight 736 arriving from Willemstad in Curaçao. 8 hours and 19 minutes. This flight is underway now. It's the Papa Hotel Bravo Victor Papa BVP. That's 9 years old. First flight February 2016. Pegasus is next after that. Turning in is the next airplane behind Pegasus already. And that should be Tarom flight 361. Although that begs the question, where is Pegasus? Or is this Pegasus? No. This is Air Oink Oink. I was about to say. According to flight radar, Pegasus should already be established on the glide slope. Hey Ini Mini, goedemorgen. Welcome back, Happy New Year. Nice. Hey, fireworks. Happy New Year, folks. Now, the firefighters already did their patrol round this morning as I was setting up, so unfortunately, they're not going to pass us by. Wind on the scale of chimney smoke still looks like so. Hardly any wind, although you do see the windmills turning in the background. Now, they are capable of turning even when the winds are really calm. Or maybe it's more windy over there than it is over here. Here on ground level, things are motionless. The reeds, slight movement in the water, but nothing substantial. Now, is this an A321neo? Yes, it is. How do you see? Well, one hint is the vortices that it is producing. Like I said just now, the A321neo is also quite capable of producing those flap tip vortices, more so than other airplane types. This is Air Oink Oink, aka Pegasus, aka Pegasus, flight 1251 arriving from Istanbul in Turkey. Hope you guys don't have to go to the toilet just yet. Let me pour me a small glass of vodka in the meantime. Fanblade is saying that the Cathay 747 is going to 18C. Is that so? That's odd. It should be landing here. Normally speaking, it's not too far away, is it? Or, yeah, no. Cathay is in Dutch airspace already. It's 10:36, so in 24 minutes from now, normally speaking, parallel arrivals should commence. So apparently, the 747 has already been assigned to the wrong runway. That is unfortunate. Hey, Nancy is also back in the chat. Good to see you again, Nancy. Welcome back. Happy New Year. Okay, well. So the second 747, despite its time of arrival, has already been sent to the wrong runway. A good start for our relations with ATC in 2026. No Stefan on board, indeed, no. But when you were on board, it was quite good to see, rather easy, and that with 300 lumen. I was skeptical at first, but you proved me wrong. That light was quite easy to see. I think we would have also been able to see it quite comfortably if you had landed on the center runway instead of the Polderbaan. And thank you so much for your super chat, mate. And Gilberto says, boy, please wish a happy new year to the Fisherman when he comes. I will do that, mate. I will definitely do that. Though truth be told, I'm not sure that he will return here anytime soon. By the way, this used to be Chucky. This used to be the airplane that we love to see so often. With all those nice bonbons and chocolate cake and bars of chocolate with nuts. Reason why I'm saying that I'm not sure that we're going to see the Fisherman anytime soon is that when you look in the water, there are no more nets. So if there are no nets for the Fisherman to clean or to check, I highly doubt that he will be coming over anytime soon. Not sure how that works with crayfish, if it's only a certain time of year that they are more moving and are easier to be caught, or if there is only a permit to fish for them a certain time of year. I'm not sure, but those nets that were here in the water every so many meters, they are no longer here. Which leads me to believe that the Fisherman we're not going to see, at least not in the near future. Michael G. Kelly Green, thank you so much for your kind words. Some fantastic action today, boy. Thank you for this amazing stream. You're welcome, Michael. Thank you for your kind words. Happy to hear you guys are enjoying. I hope everybody is. Don't forget, if you are enjoying the show, leave a like, support the channel, bring in more people in the future. Is this Captain Wheelie? It's definitely looking promising. It is an Embraer 190, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's not Captain Wheelie. Still, it was a beautiful landing. It was looking promising. Now, what's also looking promising is that at least at the far horizon, it is lighter than it currently is over here. So I'm hopeful that more open weather will slowly come this way. Right now, most open is further north and west. This is to the west. This is now looking to the east, and also the north is slowly getting more clouded. Boss is celebrating 11 months of membership. That means that next month he will turn green. That's the membership anniversary that Greenpeace loves so much. Morgen boy, how's it going? Morgen boss, it's going really well. Thank you for asking. Well, it's going relatively well. I am a bit pissed off at UPS because I had to wait for my new tripod for such a long time. First it had to be delivered to the store where I bought it from the factory. That took a long time. Then it was supposed to be delivered last Wednesday. And then at the end of the day, I received an email that it was going to be delivered yesterday. And then yesterday, at the beginning of the evening, I also received another email. And delivery was postponed to today. That's UPS for you. That's a bit annoying, considering I've been waiting for that new tripod for such a long time. But other than that, just back from a wonderful vacation and another wonderful vacation a few weeks ahead of me, so not much to complain about. Hope that also goes for you, boss. Hope all is well on your end as well. Right, we're back to the narrow bodies for the time being. And I see that Evan has also returned in the chat, celebrating 32 months of membership. Congratulations and thank you, Evan. Happy New Year. He writes, Hola, buenos dias, señor. ¿Cómo está su gato? Salud. The gato is doing relatively well. He is still blind, but you wouldn't notice from his behavior. He always has been an indoor cat, so going outdoors is something he's not missing out on. And as long as everything indoors is kept at the same location as it was before, and we do, it means he can find his way around easily. And if you see the relative ease with which he walks from the couch to his litter box or to his food and drink location, you wouldn't believe that he's actually blind and isn't seeing anything. But if I test it, I have one of those laser lights that I used to play with, and whenever I click it on, it makes a specific sound that always made him be alert and start looking around to see if he could see the light. He still does that on occasion, but you can see he's not seeing the laser, even if it is right in front of him. So unfortunately, he is still... well, I'm not sure if he doesn't see anything. Maybe he sees light and dark, but he definitely is unable to see details. His hearing is well. He still eats and drinks normally. And luckily, I did take him to the vet on several occasions to have things tested. One of the things... that one of the vets noticed was a heart murmur upon listening to his heart, and one of the enzymes that is a very broad indication that the heart might be under stress was elevated. So I did also have an ultrasound taken. Luckily, even though there was a beginning leak of one of the heart valves, it's nothing urgent. It's not something that can cause thrombosis or anything, something that could have caused the blindness, the sudden blindness. It's something to keep an eye out for, but nothing that you need to intervene for, luckily. So I'm happy with that. Things have calmed down at home, luckily, and I'm happy for that. Thanks for asking, Evan, and congratulations on 32 months, mate. One of the first members, Evan Rodriguez. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat, mate. Thank you so much for your continued support, and I hope you will stick around for many, many more months to come. Lance also back in the chat. Happy New Year, buddy. Good to see you again. Hope all is well, all things considered. In the meantime, a beautiful blue ETA is landing here. ETA flight 108 arriving from Rome. Despite the sun not being out, you can see just how gorgeous this still looks in this lighting. Stephen is asking how old is he? The cat is 17. He's from October 2008, so for a Persian cat, not very young anymore. Still, he is as lively as he always has been. Goods. And this is... Hey, is that a tufted duck? I think it is, isn't it? With those bright yellow eyes. What a beautiful duck. Nice to see that the aquatic birds are returning. Let's quickly turn back. We have a TUI Dreamliner landing here, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, flight 368. The Papa Hotel Tango Foxtrot Lima, 8 hours and 39 minutes on the way. Top cat indeed, Mupsy. Happy New Year, Jeff. Good to see you again. Welcome back, mate. Michael, goedemorgen. I did have a good vacation. Thank you so much for asking. Particularly the day of skiing with Wolfgang was terrific. It's nice. I have skied with friends before, but usually those have been friends with less experience than I have, and that means you need to slow down, and it was nice for a change not to have to slow down. If anything, I might have kept Wolfgang up every now and then, but it was nice to be able to make some kilometers and explore some new terrain with somebody who is also capable of getting down slopes without needing to check what the color is of the slope. We had good weather on that day. 4 of my 6 ski days were decently well with sun and whatnot. The last 2 days a bit more cloudy and also a bit more snowy, so I didn't go out that much on those 2 days. After all, I also had to drive back in one piece, so took it easy on those last 2 days. But yeah, it was great to be out again. Nice to see that the little Citroen C1 was able to make it back and forth without any issues. Now, 1747 has landed here this morning. That was Suparna, and it was a great landing. If you missed it, by all means, check that out in replay. Might even make a separate video out of that one, because it was loud and there was also spray, and the lighting was also in our favor. The second 747, unfortunately, ATC assigned it to the wrong runway. It is over there, Cathay Pacific Cargo, or Cathay Cargo I should say more properly. Cathay Cargo flight 2067 is arrived from Dubai World Center. 747-8, and 8 is also the number of hours it has been flying to get here. Remarkably, I should say, because the A380 usually averages 6.5 hours. This one has been flying for 8 hours and 10 minutes, so that means it has to have flown a different route than Emirates usually does. It's the Bravo Lima Juliet Juliet. Nielso, goedemorgen, good morning, happy new year, welcome back. This 7478 is 13 years old. Its first flight was in October 2012. And it's the first airplane to the center runway, and with it 40 or so minutes of parallel arrivals are beginning. I hope it's going to be only 40 minutes, because that means that around 11:30 it's over again. I certainly hope it's not going to evolve into 50 minutes, because it is 10 minutes too early. 99 out of 100 times this airplane would have landed here. ATC has not yet changed their sentiment to AMS Live, I think. We'll get them one day. Han's favorite in the meantime landed here in the foreground. I am so sorry, Han, that we weren't able to spot the dot. Duckies. I almost forgot I have a sound effect. Let's call them. Right, so it did take a different route. Flew over Egypt, Greece, Croatia. There you go. It took the scenic route. It took the scenic route. Jeff says send pizzas to the tower. I'm not sure if that will help, mate. We could give it a go. Then again, I actually prefer to have pizza with ground crew instead than if I had the choice. Hey, Alan is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Big Al, celebrating 28 months of membership. I've stumbled onto a strange channel. Happy New Year, legend. What channel might that be? You're not talking about this channel, are you? Happy New Year to you too, buddy. May 2026 bring you health and prosperity. And thank you so much, Alan, for 28 months of support, 2 years, 4 months, and counting. At the risk of sounding like a broken record, I am going to repeat what I say so many times. If anything is amiss in the lounge, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. Thank you so much for the ongoing support, Alan. Hope you'll stick around for many, many more months to come. Now I can hear airplanes passing by overhead, and between the clouds I see wisps of blue sky, and I did see a little contrail remnant of something that just passed me by, but it's hard to see anything between the clouds because they are so omnipresent at the moment. Only at the horizons is it a bit lighter. Hopefully those light patches of sky will drift in and things will get more open again like it was in the beginning of the stream. For now we have to make do with what we can see best, and that is this KLM flight 636. I was about to say 737, but 636 returning from Las Vegas. Nancy says, love the ducks. I cannot disagree with you on that. That tufted duck on the right particularly is a specimen. Not sure, is this a regular duck, a mallard, or I think it might also be a tufted duck. They have such bright yellow eyes. If they come closer by, and I hope they will at some point, I can show you. Right, our next airplane is an E2 Embraer arrival from London. And only way further back is the second airplane coming to the Polderbaan. I'm not sure. Doesn't look like we are able to see it yet. Iberia arrived from Madrid. Alan was having withdrawal symptoms. Well, hate to break it to you, mate, but another similar period of abstinence is a few weeks out from now. I will be going out for another week of winter sport in February 7th until the 14th. Means I'll probably be out for 2 weeks as well. No vacations planned after that, so hopefully from then on we can be a bit more back more regularly, I should say. Parallel arrivals began 10 minutes earlier than normally it would have been the case. A321neo arriving from Paris is going to the center runway. And Gilberto, thank you so much for your super chat. A cup of coffee to welcome the new year. Thank you so much. A good cup of coffee I will definitely have once I get back home from streaming. Thank you so much for that, Gilberto. Hey Patrick, goedemorgen. Hans says, ATC had good intentions for 2026 to be more generous to you, but like so many of us, they dropped their good intentions on the 2nd of January. Yeah, that might well be the case. The road to hell is paved with good intentions, is what they say. But at least the weather will be warmer then. Yeah, remarkable. 10 minutes to 11 and the 747 already assigned to the wrong runway. I was pretty confident it was going to land here, but there you go. You can never be sure about anything here at Schiphol. That once again got confirmed here. In the meantime, the next airplane has become visible. It is Iberia arriving from Madrid. That's an A320. And in the meantime over here is a KLM / German Airways Embraer 190, which is returning from Stuttgart. That's the DTM, Deutsche Tourwagenmeisterschaft livery. Flying parallel to the A320 that is coming to the Polderbaan is another A321neo from KLM arriving from Paris. And unfortunately, the second ITA is going to the wrong way. ITA flight 120 arriving from Milan. That's a Bombardier C-Series 100, an A220. Diana has to go. She has to do other stuff. Thank you so much for joining, Diana. Enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully see you again tomorrow. And if not tomorrow, then at least hopefully on Sunday. Idruj HBD says, "Sup everyone, it's my first time here. Welcome to the channel, mate. Welcome to AMS Live. Nice of you to say hi in the chat. That isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. If you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many are watching. Together they are very knowledgeable. Most of them are friendly. So feel free to ask any questions that you might be having. This is Iberia flight 731 arriving from Madrid. 1 hour 53 minutes on the way. It's a regular A320, not a Neo. Registration ECLVD, Lima Victor Delta. A321neo is flying parallel to it to the center runway. KLM arriving from Paris. Looking at it, I don't see any vortices or anything. Maybe against a lighter backdrop. If there are any, they are visible more easily, but no. Hey, check it out. The duckies have swum closer by. Let's go to autofocus so that we can focus more closely on them. Yes, beautiful. Oh, combo shot. Have a look at the eyes. Bright yellow, nice and contrasty. Oh. Beautiful. Nice to see the duckies again. If you suddenly have the urge to go to the toilet, it might be because of the sound emanating from just behind the ducks. I am happy to see that the brightness at the horizon is now slowly but surely creeping in, so I'm cautiously optimistic that as the stream progresses, we are going to get more open skies again. For now it's still mostly cloudy over here, but as suddenly as it drifted in, I hope similarly it will also vanish rather suddenly. Good morning, Wolf Wild, who says duck with a mustache. Indeed. Indeed, indeed. And Danny is back. Danny Reminder celebrating 23 months of membership. It's your last month as a green member. Greenpeace is not going to be happy about that. You'll turn blue next month. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Danny writes in Dutch, welcome back, boy. Healthy and happy 2026 in English thereafter. Happy and healthy 2026 to you too, Danny. Nice to see you again. Hope you've had a good New Year's Eve and Christmas. All the best for 2026 for you and yours as well. I think this is now the new standard livery, where they have contours of mountains at the tail, on the tail, at the back. Next up, an Embraer 175 from KLM, flight 1056, arriving from Norwich. Flying parallel to it is Aegean, arriving from Athens. And it's looking like they might start doing, will they do a runway inspection? Because there is a 737 on the glide slope to center, arriving from Manchester. Normally that would have been directed to this runway. So I'm thinking maybe they are going to do a runway inspection or anything or something. Yeah, Marissa also noticed it and was thinking exactly the same. We'll see soon enough, but it might be that they are going to do a runway inspection. Why else would they assign the flight from Manchester to the center runway? In the meantime, a massive big thank you to Sarah. Sarah Deal just now super stickering a fan character dressed as a cheerleader jumping in the air. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. You didn't have to use a super sticker, but you did it anyway. I thank you for that. Now, is that supposed to be you dressed as a cheerleader jumping in the air? I thank you so much for doing us the honor. Cheerleaders, that's something that we don't have in the Netherlands. We know of them, but I don't think we have cheerleaders the way that Americans have with their sports. I think we have our answer, Marissa. I think you were right. Gilberto asks, no more play at Schiphol? Certainly not. It's they've gone bankrupt. So they've stopped coming to Schiphol, but they've also stopped coming and going to different locations, different destinations. Bas has to go back to work. Thanks for joining, Bas. Enjoy your day. Hopefully see you again in the weekend. Fijne dag to you too. W says that the MPS is taking off from runway 24 right now. Nice. Question always is, where do those departing airplanes become visible? I'm thinking, well, we can see it already. There it is. We have our answer. The MPS, the Martinair Cargo, one of a kind, still remaining. Though interestingly, if you look on YouTube and Google for Schiphol 1990s, you'll find plenty of videos from spotters who filmed back in the 90s at Schiphol, and the number of 747s you see then is astounding. Day and night difference with today, obviously. Couldn't turn your head around and not bump into one or more 747s back in the day. Let me go back to manual focus for autofocus for this. There you go. Particularly that duck on the left now. has incredibly bright yellow eyes. My God, gorgeous. Right, they're swimming off. Bird control is still busy checking the runway. Hopefully this means they'll close the other runway soon thereafter. Often that's the case. Then again, we already saw that with beginning so early with parallel arrivals. Today is not your typical day, apparently. Russell is sitting over there, staring at us, keeping us in sight, making sure that everything that happens in his territory is going well. Right now, center is the only runway in use. That's only temporary because this runway is now getting inspected by bird control. This is KLM flight 1840 arriving from Nuremberg, which I also drove past. And after that, a lot of traffic jams between Nuremberg and Munich on my way to the Alps. Interesting, on my way back I also made a pit stop right next to Stuttgart airport. And you think, oh, that's only a 49 minute flight to Amsterdam from here. Probably shouldn't take that long by car, but once again, if I point the camera up, oh yeah, just a glimpse. I was about to say, you can hear something passing by overhead, and for a moment it was visible, but looking at where the airplane is going to, it will not reappear again. You can definitely see that the brighter sky is slowly but surely coming this way. It's drifting in. It's not going to be that long anymore before things will open up again over here. The bird controller on duty is K5. You can see that the 5 has a different color than the K. That's because this airplane, this car used to be known as K1. Its license plate still hasn't been changed. The license plate on the back, you can see, still says K1. They still haven't gotten around to changing that. Hey, Alan, also back, tuning in from the northeast of England. I, for one, am definitely well. Thank you for asking. Hope you're well as well, Alan. Right. KLM flight 1042 arriving from Birmingham is going to be the next arrival on Polderbaan by the looks of it. Are we able to see it? I don't think we are. It's still pretty far away. Plus there are clouds in the way as well. What we are able to see is an A321neo from KLM arriving from Copenhagen, flying over there, going to the center runway. That's KLM flight 1268. It's the Phaxe. Phaxe. Papa Hotel Alpha X-ray Echo. Flight time has been 1 hour and 4 minutes. That's nominal. Copenhagen is around 1 hour of flying away from Amsterdam. This airplane is brand new, but that doesn't mean a lot because everything that is less than a year old is considered brand new on Flight Radar. But here it says that the first flight of this airplane was in March, so that means in 2 months from now it's going to turn 1. Yay! If it were an AMS Live member, it would still be yellow, but it would turn green in 2 months. Indeed, Mr. F. Better than KO. K5 is better than KO. All right. This is the flight from... What was it? Birmingham, already visible? The answer is no, not yet. Begs the question, how quickly are airplanes becoming visible right now? Answer is, we'll find out soon enough. Interesting to see that this A737 is not visible on Flight Radar. So either it has destination NA or it was an outbound flight returning. Hey Rob, good morning. Welcome back, mate. Happy New Year. Hey, Mr. Blue Sky is also back. Good to see you. Welcome back, mate. Nice that you see to see that you are bringing your stuff around as well pretty soon. And there's our next inbound flight, KLM flight 1042, arriving from Birmingham. Gives me a chance to quickly replace the battery of one of the heated gloves that I only switched on a couple of minutes ago. One of the batteries is pretty dead. Luckily, bought a new pair. Means I'm now carrying 8 batteries for heated gloves with me. Should get me through long streams without any problems. Hey, the 737 was returning to Amsterdam, was heading to Stockholm. Thank you, German Monster, for letting us know. So, how far did it get? And KLM A380 from Bonaire is going to center, Marissa says. What? What are they doing? That's not good. We've seen that before, that they send the wide bodies to the center runway and the narrow bodies keep coming to the Polderbaan. Well, hon, not only did they have good intentions that they dropped on January 2nd already, it seems that they have gone full thrust in opposition mode as well. Sending all the interesting flights to the runway. The dime in a dozen to us. Now they do have an opportunity to redeem themselves if they send the A380 to Polderbaan instead. I think that would qualify as redemption, but we all know that's not going to happen. Not in a million years. Hey, thank you so much, Alan. Have to go. Thanks for the stream. Get yourself a coffee. I will definitely do that, mate. Thank you so much for joining us here. Hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow or on Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll enjoy that coffee later. Thank you so much, Alan. The next airplane should be arriving from Aberdeen, although despite its close proximity, according to flight radar, I'm not yet seeing it. Is there anything else visible going to the central runway? The answer is yes. Yes, there is. There it is. This would be KLM Flight 1850 arriving from Munich. Oh, oh, oh. What's that, guys? One of the birds flew into the field, and Russell here was commenting. Grah, grah, grah. Okay, no comment. Okay, suits you. All right, focus and back to manual focus. So this is KLM Flight 1850 arriving from Munich. Now it's an hour's flight away, but a 7-hour drive from here. Thank you so much, Bobbers, for your super chat as well. Enjoying the show, he writes. I'm happy to hear that, Bobbers. I am glad to hear that. Hope everybody else is enjoying the show as well. If you are, don't forget to leave a like if you want to help bring in more people in the future. Subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to stay informed of upcoming live streams and other announcements, or if you want to participate in the live chat, which you can do after 5 minutes. And after a week of being a subscriber, you can also post stuff in our community section. If you have pictures to share with other viewers, that's where you can do so. It will require being a subscriber for a week. That's to weed out any bots, any spam bots, etc. In the meantime, where is bird control? Because there's definitely a flock of birds, a sizable flock over here. Right now they're over the airfield, but if any airplane needs to go around, they might still be in the way, being where they are right now. Where did he go? Oh, okay. He was he was sitting on the ledge over there first, then he flew off. I was looking at the light mast and I didn't see Russell there. I was hearing him but couldn't see him. I thought, did he go ninja on me? But he was sitting a bit further back on the excrement bridge, where I didn't see him initially until he flew away. German Airways in the pointillism, new updated livery. Looks nice, looks better. And a KLM 737 over there. Now the A380 arriving from Bonaire. Not too far away anymore, but going to the wrong runway. It is going to be next after this Embraer 175. This is KLM Flight 1704 arriving from Brussels. Oh. All right. Time for the bird control to make an appearance here on the Polderbaan area. Yes, go and sit right next to the runway so that when an airplane comes by and you guys get scared, you'll fly right into the airplane's engines. Smart thinking. Oh. Okie dokie, so this is KLM Flight 1704 arriving from Brussels, an Embraer 175, 28 minutes underway for, what is it, 88 nautical miles. Let's be generous and say that a mile is 2 kilometers. That would make it 196 kilometers. It's less. That's as the crow flies, because where its journey was 80, its flown distance was 88 nautical miles just now, it has become 87 now. That's because it's now flying, technically speaking, back to Brussels, where it came from. So what you're seeing on Flight Radar, that distance is the distance as the crow flies. Means that for airplanes arriving from the south, upon landing, they are getting closer to their original, their place of origin. Right. Now, interestingly, it's interesting to see that the E2 Embraer arriving from Newcastle is also going to the center runway. In the meantime, I'm looking behind me and I'm looking ahead of me to see if there is any traffic on the runway here or in the vicinity of the runway, and it doesn't seem to be the case. They already did their inspection, so I'm not exactly sure why these two airplanes arriving from the west and who normally would have been assigned to the Polderbaan have in fact been assigned to the center runway. So this is KLM flight 765 arriving from Bonaire, and this is the Papa Hotel Alpha Oscar Echo, the PH AOE. 8 hours 55 minutes on the way from Bonaire back to the Netherlands. Same kingdom, different location. 19-year-old A330, A330-200. First flight was in July 2006. Hey Tom, good afternoon mate. Marissa notices that the Humberside plane is also going to the center runway. What are they doing? What are they doing? Did somebody else other than me deliver pizza to the control tower, and are they now having pizza and therefore aren't able to monitor the traffic? Don't see anybody standing up moving around, so it might be that they're eating pizza right now. Hey Jörg, also back. Happy New Year mate, good to see ya. I think they might be having pizza in the tower over there. I think that's the reason why temporarily things are only going to the central runway. Not for much longer though. As you guys are already noticing, the next airplanes assigned to Polderbaan are not too far away anymore. But it is remarkable. Then again, it is 11:26 already. And today they did begin with parallel arrivals 10 minutes earlier than normally would have been the case. So hopefully that means they'll also stop approximately 10 minutes earlier than normally would have been the case. In which case it might be that in less than 5 minutes from now the central runway is going to close. I sure hope that will be the case, so that at least the parallel arrivals will not have taken longer than the normal 40 minutes. More birds over there. Hard to estimate if those are in the vicinity of the location that the airplanes are flying upon approach. Right, it's 4 Embraers to the center runway for the time being. That's the silver lining. We're not missing out on any spectacular airplanes other than that 747-8 at the beginning of the parallel arrivals. Adam wonders about the random whistling he keeps hearing, and that's emanating from a building that you see over there. That's where the whistling is coming from. In the background, by the way, you see the P3 parking garage that I enjoyed filming from so much, but that you aren't allowed to live stream from without permission from the Schiphol group, which is a very elaborate and costly process. The thing here in the foreground, that white building, is causing the whistle. It's to detect the clouds and to establish how high the cloud base is. Apparently that goes with sound that is audible to us, so that you occasionally hear, allegedly is emanating from there. One of our regular viewers, Dodo, who works at Schiphol, looked into it and he came back with this answer. Seems to make sense. It does look like the top of that building was open, so measurements. Howdy Peter, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Welcome back. Bob has to go. It's bedtime for him. Enjoy your beauty sleep, Bob. Hopefully see you again tomorrow or Sunday. Now, Qatar is also becoming visible on my little patch of flight radar, and I am wondering, is it going to center or has it been assigned to the Polderbaan? Because I am hoping that pretty soon center is going to close, since they did begin with parallel arrivals 10 minutes earlier. Wouldn't that be nice if Qatar were to come to the Polderbaan? It probably has been assigned to the center runway, but we can dream, can't we? As you can see, the more clear skies are slowly but surely drifting in. It's not going as rapidly as I would have wanted, but at least you can see weather improvement is slowly drifting in. All flights from the east still assigned to center, Marissa says. That's unfortunate. Right. The first airplane to the Polderbaan, as Marissa was already mentioning, is the Air Canada Dreamliner. No, not the Dreamliner A330. Fly the flag is the livery. I'd have to look into it to see if I think this is going to be a channel premiere. I think other than what is it, SkyTeam or Star Alliance, I think. Other than Star Alliance, I think only once did we have an Air Canada special livery that was Disney related, if I recall correctly. Fly the flag doesn't ring a bell to me. Hey Rodney, also back. Happy New Year, buddy. Good to see you again. All the best for 2026 to you and yours. What about your plan to buy that strange vehicle? It was sort of a crane on wheels or something like that. Do we proceed with the fundraising? Well, I don't think it's going to give me that much added value, since I am still restricted with where I can go with that type of vehicle. In fact, I'm not even sure if you're allowed to drive that thing on public roads. It would be nice though, wouldn't it? It was sort of a sort of a vehicle with a ladder equipped. Wasn't it for disabled people to get into and out of airplanes? Right. Another Embraer going to the wrong runway. That's all well and good. Let's see. After having checked what Russell is doing. Ruffling some feathers. It's almost like he's having a bath, but except he's not in the water. You sometimes see birds in a puddle, enjoying the water, doing what he was doing just now. Looked very similar, at least to my layman's eyes view. Gilberto says you need a hangar to park it. Well, I do have a lot of parking space in front of my house, so might be able to make it without a parking garage, but yeah. Let me take a quick sip of vodka before Air Canada is landing here. Hey, John Singleton is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Goedemorgen to you too. And Happy New Year to you and yours. All the best for 2026. And I did have a great holiday. Thank you for asking, John. Particularly the day of skiing with Wolfgang, which I did on Monday, was terrific. We had good weather and great fun. Spent an entire day traversing through part of the ski circus area. Saalbach, Hinterglem, Vibebroen, Leogang. I was staying in Hinterglem. He was also coming over there. So from there we basically went and explored, I think, half of the area. Great fun. On average, good weather. The food left something to be desired. It was definitely not worth a 4-star hotel. At least not for the vegetarians. Haute le drapeau. Hey Edo, goedemorgen. Keenan says that doesn't sound like just a sip you just poured. Well, I poured a small glass of which I can take sips. That was definitely a channel premiere, that livery from Air Canada. Nice to see. Qatar Cargo going to the wrong runway. TUI flight arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao is going to the wrong runway as well, by the looks of it. Johnny's Triple also still going to the wrong runway. God damn it. Already so early in the year, and ATC is already working against us so actively. Joy2412, good morning. DJ Danny Rules, goedemorgen. Happy New Year, mate. So, TUI also going to the wrong runway. Interesting to see. Come on, guys, close the center runway already. It's been 45 minutes now that they have used it for parallel arrivals. You'll see they'll close it after Sun Express. It's now 11:37. So on paper, 3 more minutes for parallel arrivals. Iceland Air Max 8737. arriving from Reykjavik. And you can see that the sun is slowly but surely creeping out from behind the clouds again. It's doing its best to shine and illuminate the Polderbaan area brightly. Now, TUI going to the wrong runway. This is TUI flight 391 arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. There's a Chinese triple arriving from Guangzhou behind it. And Sun Express is also still going to the wrong runway.
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
KLM flight 1198 is the last plane for center, Marissa says. Right, that's over there. Man, they are really using that center runway a long time today. They began 10 minutes prior to the normal time. In other words, that 747-8 that was supposed to land here on the Polderbaan got stolen away from us. Thanks ATC for that. Papa Hotel Tango Foxtrot Juliet. Did I read that correctly? Let's click on the label. Yep, that is correct. Hey Jean-Yves, salut mon ami, happy new year to you and yours. Nice to see you again, mate, hope all is well. Right, so this is a Chinese triple arriving from Guangzhou in China. China Southern Cargo 777 freighter, 11 hours and 15 minutes on the way, the Bravo 223 Charlie. The airplane a year old, its first flight was in December 2024. And that's the third to last airplane going to the center runway for the time being. After that, it is back to Polderbaan only. If you joined us later, you may have missed two 747s already. There were only two underway before the A380 were to land. The A380 is expected late today, after 1 o'clock. That means, like in summer often is the case, it is going to land on the center runway, just like this 777 is. The first 747 landed on the Polderbaan, the second went to the wrong way, despite its time of arrival 10 to 11. Normally speaking, it should have landed on the Polderbaan. The Superna that did land on the Polderbaan did so in style, loud and full of spray, despite not all the reversers having been applied. Adri asks if I'm standing next to a waterfall. I am, indeed. There it is. And I can make it even worse by pouring in glasses of vodka. Hey Ricardo, goedemorgen, gelukkig nieuwjaar. Wouter has to go, thanks for joining, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully we'll see you again in the weekend. If all is well, tomorrow and Sunday we should have nice dry weather. Right, well, nothing going to the Polderbaan. Only two airplanes going to the center runway, and we'll have to wait a bit for the next airplane to the Polderbaan. I think it's flying downwind right behind me right now. KLM flight 1710 Embraer 175 arriving from Luxembourg. Back to the narrow bodies it is, by the looks of it. Sun Express is arriving from Turkey. And KLM flight 1198 arriving from Oslo. If all is well, the last airplane to the wrong runway. By the time it will have landed, the center runway will have been open for almost an hour. Those bastards. I'm getting screwed over. Hey! Harry Heron is hunting. Hunting Harry Heron. Fully focused on the grass. Where he must have seen or heard something. Hey, Gary is also back. Happy New Year, buddy. Good to see you again. Hope all is well. Happy New Year to you and yours. KLM flight 1198 arriving from Oslo. Maria has to go. Thanks for stopping by, Maria. It was nice to see you again. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Hopefully see you again tomorrow. Sleep well. Jackie also has to go. See you later, Jackie. Thanks for stopping by. Take care, mate. All right, the sun is getting out again. Absolutely lovely here. You can see things are opening up. Mr. Blue Sky is back. Now, murmurations of birds are back as well. Have a look at these patterns. Not sure if those are sparrows or other birds, but several groups of them. Interestingly, they seem to be flying to the north. They seem to be flying to the north. Well, so now the darkest part of the sky is actually where the glide slope is. Behind me the sun is shining. The first airplane is turning in. I'm not sure with that cloudy backdrop. I am at least struggling to see it already. Not even sure that we can see it already. KLM flight 1710 arriving from Luxembourg and Embraer 175. Storm Eagle says sound like geese. Could also be geese. They have passed by now. I wasn't able to hear them. There you go. Apparently you guys are able to hear that as well. That's the difference between having the microphone in a blimp pointing to the runway versus having it on camera and turning along with the camera. Indeed, front lighting, Zach. If there are airplanes coming this way, think we can barely make out the glistening of the landing lights of KLM flight 1710. Hans has to go. See you later, Hans. And Hans says, I think you mean starlings. Could be. I'm not sure what they were. But it was a big group of birds, that's for sure. Howdy, Tom. Happy New Year, mate. Good to see you again. All right, so excrement bridge still present. Airplanes slowly but surely returning. Sun definitely has returned. Means that we are also able to see contrails and contrail remnants to a certain extent. Anything interesting approaching from Frankfurt or Munich, we should be able to make out again. Anything from the opposite direction, not so much yet, but that is going to change soon because more open skies are drifting in from behind. Alright, so this is KLM flight 1710 arriving from Luxembourg. Embraer 175, E2 Embraer 195 behind it arriving from Stockholm. You can see the sun is fully illuminating the runway now. I'm quickly transitioning back from heated gloves to fingerless gloves. Should make for a bit more accurate following, which is still needed since I am unfortunately still working with the old tripod. Embraer 175. The grass looks a little dry. At least on my camera screen it looks a bit yellowish. Over there at least. That certainly must be an optical illusion because we've had plenty of precipitation. The grass here is still pretty soaky. The grass here on the immediate opposite side of the canal is also nice and green. Bird control is present. Still K5, the old K1 VW. Next airplane to arrive is going to be KLM flight 1216 arriving from Stockholm. The Papa Hotel November X-ray X-ray. E2 Embraer 195, 1 hour and 15 minutes underway. Its picture is from the Polderbaan, if you look on flight radar. Brand new airplane, first flight September this year, so that's only 4 months old right now. Air France flight 1500 is next after that. That's an E2 Embraer 195. No, not an E2, an A320, a Bombardier C Series 300. I also saw one of those upon arrival here this morning. Nice to see that Air France is also updating their fleet, gradually introducing more of those beautiful A220s. The engines of which are related to the engines in this airplane. So both the E2 Embraers and the A220s are capable of making those whale sounds. Which you usually hear when they are throttling up and throttling down. So over here at this location, when the airplanes are landing, you're not hearing it that much. Things are slowly but surely opening up. There's an airplane taking off from runway 24 in the process of passing me by. Am I able to find it? There's the birds. Where's the plane? Oh, the plane is already in the clouds. Never mind. Never mind. Speaking of birds, more on the left. Storm Eagle says, if you water this plant well, it grows. If you water this plane well, it grows into a real 777. That's how they are grown. You start with an E2 Embraer, you water it properly, Make sure you give it plenty of fertilizer and it'll grow into a fully fledged 777. Yeah, no, going without the heated gloves is still a bit chilly. Hey, the KLM Brazilian duo has entered Dutch airspace above Zeeland. That's good to hear. Buenos Aires and Sao Paulo. Now, an A220 300, Air France flight 1500, 41 minutes underway from Paris to Amsterdam. That's a nominal flight duration. Paris, Luxembourg, and also London, average 40 to 45 minutes. This is the Verhupnetje. Foxtrot Hotel Papa, November Juliet. And with the current lighting, you can see through those see-through engines beautifully. Nice butt shot. All right, now bear with me, guys. There's 4 Embraers coming, an Embraer 175, an Embraer 190, an Embraer 175, and an Embraer 190. Then an A321 Neo. And Indigo is also coming. Indigo at least will be landing here. That's the silver lining of today, that at least we'll be able to see that. I also see a contrail of a twin jet flying just south of me, east to west. Let's have a quick look, see what we can make of it. You guys will probably be able to see on Flight Radar what it is. I am not, since now the camera is pointing up, my phone is pointing down. And in addition to that, I don't have overhead traffic filtered in, just inbound traffic to Schiphol. It looked like it was Lufthansa. It's relatively short wings. Make it likely be... Is that an Airbus or something? Was it an A320 or 21? Not sure. Yeah, you're right, Gary. It has been a long time since you were able to post buttshot emojis. I'm standing here still south of the excrement bridge, but at a location where the grass is accessible somewhat. Now, I used to stand a few meters down the road, more or less where the exit or entrance to that field is, between the two gaps, or between the two pieces of pipe. But as you can see, the grass over there is more or less one big mud pool. And unless things dry up over there, I'm not going back there anytime soon. But here we are standing close enough to the first exit to see butt shots again. Right, I think there is a quad-engined Contrail coming this way, either from Munich or more likely from Frankfurt. It's coming directly towards me. We should be able to make that out pretty easily in a few moments from now. And it was an A321, there you go. Lufthansa A321 from Frankfurt to Glasgow. And Storm Eagle says A340-600 overhead from the south, Frankfurt to Chicago. So that must be it. It's getting closer by. As is this Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds. Hey! Where have we seen this before? P3 and Authority. That brings back bad memories. Doet die A340-600? Getting as close to my zenith as it can right about now. Absolutely lovely. In the meantime, we have a 2-airplane glide slope shot with an Embraer 175 and an Embraer 190. The 175 in the foreground on the right, the Embraer 190 arriving from London City on the left. Behind these two will follow an A321neo from KLM arriving from London Heathrow. That's now flying base and is not yet visible. The wind is picking up a little bit, or at least in the vicinity of the scale of chimney smoke. You can see a bit more horizontality in the chimney smoke. A bit more waviness here in the water as well. Right, the first next wide body is approaching. It's above permanent right now. I'm not sure if we are able to see it yet. It is Indigo, the Indigo Dreamliner arriving from Mumbai. I'm looking, but as I already foresaw earlier this morning, when the backdrop would turn from open sky to cloudiness, it is becoming more difficult to see airplanes approaching. 2 airplanes on the glide slope right now. KLM Flight 984 here in the foreground, arriving from London City. And behind it is KLM Flight 1004, arriving from London Heathrow.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
Another twin jet wide body passing by here. You can hear it, and now also we can see it. Dreamliner. Is that Lufthansa? No, that's not Lufthansa. It must be something else. That wasn't Lufthansa, but it was a Dreamliner. I can tell you that. Or at least the wings certainly looked like it was a Dreamliner. Let's not be too determined about what it was. I'm actually wrong quite regularly in those in that respect. I see Marissa saying goodbye to Nancy, so Nancy must have announced her departure. Thanks for stopping by, Nancy. Enjoy the rest of your day and see you again soon, hopefully. Mark H is also back in the chat, tuning in from Hong Kong. Welcome back, Mark. Happy New Year to you and yours. Good to have you back, mate. United 777-300 from Frankfurt to Newark. Well, there you go. Here I was saying it was looking like a Dreamliner, but looks can be deceptive, particularly if you look at the airplane from a distance and at an angle. Although a bit harder to see, if you look closely you can see that the A321neo is producing flap tip vortices again. And hey, I think that was indigo. That is indigo, barely visible in the center, but still there it was, the next airplane after this A321neo. This is KLM Flight 1004. It is arriving from London Heathrow. And in the meantime, Mark H made What Are You Doing? Thank you so much for your generosity. 10 gifted memberships. That is stupendously generous. Thank you so much, Mark. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Mark H if you are one of his 10 gifted membership recipients. Have fun with the custom emojis that you'll now have at your disposal for a month. Mark, thank you so much for your incredibly generous gifting there. 10 new members courtesy of you. I hope they'll all say thank you to you. And welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Have fun with the custom emojis. Indeed, Sam. Kenya Airways is underway. Should be here in 4 or so hours or so. Yeah, it's usually a late afternoon arrival here in the Netherlands. Hey Rob, goedemiddag. Rob is tuning in from the Philippines. Welcome back and Happy New Year. Happy New Year, Edwin. En Frans, goedemiddag. Happy New Year. Some people say that you shouldn't say Happy New Year any longer after, well, I'm not sure what the celebration is called in English. In Dutch it's called Drie Koningen, which literally translates to 3 kings. It was last week. In some countries it is an official day off. Apparently you aren't supposed to greet and say Happy New Year to people any longer after that day, which I think is utter BS. K5 sounding the horn. Not sure if you guys were picking that up. Probably wasn't directed to us, but I noticed it. There's so many tools, sound effects, flares and whatnot. It's almost noticeable when they opt to do something else to scare away the birds. Drive in on them at high speeds, or using the horn of the car. Indigo Flight 21 arriving from Mumbai in India. Next arrival here on Polderbaan, 9 hours 51 minutes on the way. It's a 7879 Dreamliner, Lima, November, Foxtrot, November, Lima. Epiphany. Ah, thanks for looking that up, Marcel. Six-year-old airplane. First flight March 2019. David Wolf has to go. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully see you again later in the weekend. The sun is out. This time of year here at 52 degrees northern latitude, it is not getting much higher above the horizon at its highest than 15 or so degrees. That does change significantly in the upcoming 6 months. Edelweiss? Not sure. Wasn't really optimally positioned to follow it extensively. Really high up. A747 guy, gelukkig nieuwjaar. Happy New Year to you too, mate. Whiz. Ah, thanks, Storm Eagle. Two airplanes on the glide slope. A320 on the right, A321neo on the left. And that's producing vortices. Another A321neo. It is producing significant vortices. The A320, not neo, here in the foreground isn't. Is there such a big difference in humidity such a short distance away? You might wonder. I don't think there is. I think it has to do with the way the airplane flaps are designed. For some reason, significantly more visible vortices are emanating from A321neos. Ah, and a bit of moisture still on the runway. And this was Aer Lingus flight 604 arriving from Dublin in Ireland. Eurowings. And another butt shot in the making. After this, a jet, the A321neo, arriving from Istanbul. And after that, two 777s, double triple time, the double triple from Latin America. Russell and his cronies are over here. There's the first of the two triples. 777-200 will arrive first, followed by a 300. The 200 arriving from Rio de Janeiro and the 300 arriving from Sao Paulo. Salut Pierre, good day. Anchor, good day to you too and Happy New Year, mate. For those of you joining us just now, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we're here at the Polderbaan where a jet just now landed. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed two 747s, one of which landed here, the other, unfortunately and unexpectedly, went to the wrong runway, despite being here 10 to 11. The A380 is still expected. It is late today and is expected to arrive after 1 o'clock. It means that the A380 is going to land on the wrong runway today. This is KLM flight 706 arriving from Rio de Janeiro, 777-200 10 hours and 30 minutes on the way, the Papa Hotel Bravo Quebec Mike. 19 years old already, first flight March 2006. Morgen.
Hi boy, goedemiddag.
Ja, goedemiddag.
Beste wensen. Hè.
Hey, beste wensen.
Kom even live aan je geven, jongen.
Leuk man, goedemorgen. In the meantime, a Transavia A321neo is flying downwind. And speaking of Transavia A321s, the retro should also be underway back here. Flying out to, if I recall correctly, Alicante this morning. Danny, goedemiddag, good afternoon. And welcome back, mate. Now, 777-300 followed by a KLM Dreamliner 787-10. That's going to be followed by an A320neo EasyJet arriving from London Luton, and then a regular A320 from EasyJet arriving from Belfast. I am curious about the A321 Retro from Transavia. Let me have a quick look on Flight Radar. Oh yeah, that's flying right north of Paris, between Paris and the Belgium border, and the Retro Transavia is expected 12:52. It is indeed returning from Alicante, so I did see that correctly this morning. We should see the Retro Transavia here on the Polderbaan shortly before parallel arrivals begin around 1 o'clock. This is KLM Flight 792 arriving from Sao Paulo, 777-300. Artem is also back. He says that there is an A330 Beluga on the north above Alkmaar, west to east. Well, if it is still much to the west, we cannot see it yet. I think once it has cleared the excrement bridge, more or less, we should be able to make it out. A330 at flight level 290 should be quite easily discernible against a blue backdrop. Right now, I don't think it is visible just yet, but I am looking up to keep my eyes out open for it. Always nice to see the Beluga, even if it is still far away. And Yuri is also back in the chat, celebrating 8 months of membership. Goedemiddag boy en iedereen in the chat, he writes, which is Dutch for good afternoon everybody. Good afternoon boy and everybody in the chat. Good afternoon to you too, mate. Happy New Year, and thank you so much for your ongoing support. 8 months and counting. Hope everything is still to your liking in the lounge. I think I also see the Beluga. This is KLM Flight 622, arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. And there's your Beluga. Despite flying at 290, it is producing a sort of contrail. Hey, Yen is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Happy New Year. Doing well. Thank you for asking. Hope that also goes for you. That Beluga stands out so clearly, particularly against the white backdrop. All right, now it is back to the narrow bodies here at Polderbaan for the time being, with 3 back-to-back narrow bodies. Two of them, the first 2 of them are EasyJet A320neo arriving from London Luton. The airplane that you see as number 2 is EasyJet arriving from Belfast, and you can see the lights of the third airplane. It's now a nice linear 3 airplane glide slope shot. That's Transavia flight 5756. That's arriving from Marrakesh, and that's an A321neo. First up, look away if you're Luton intolerant, because it might give you the cramps. This is EasyJet flight 22515, arrived from London Luton, A320neo, 41 minutes on the way, and this is the Guzzo. Golf Uniform Zulu Hotel Uniform. No, Oscar, Guzzo. Hey, thank you so much, Jin. Artem says, Globemaster on the south from east to west, flight level 300. How far to the south is it? Because right now I am not seeing anything immediately. Is it really close by, or is it further, much further to the south? I do think I'm hearing something, but it's hard to pinpoint where it's coming from and going to. I think what I'm hearing is not the C-17, probably. Very close and in the west already. Well, in that case, I think I'm not able to spot it, since it is still not completely open up here, as you can see. I was hearing something, but I didn't see any contrails or anything, so I think I missed the C-17 then. What I'm not going to miss here is Transavia flight 5756. This is arriving from Marrakesh, which is in the north of Africa. It's Morocco. 3 hours and 4 minutes on the way. Papa Hotel, Yankee Hotel Tango. The airplane's been flying for 3 hours and 4 minutes. Brand new, less than a year old. First flight June 2025. Hey Jennifer, goedemiddag. Happy New Year to you and yours. May 2026 bring you health and prosperity and everything you wish for. If you joined us later, you probably missed two 747s, one of which landed here. The other was supposed to land here given its time of arrival, but ATC decided, screw AMS Live viewers, we'll send it to the center runway, even though it arrived 10 minutes to 11. The 747 from Suparna that did land here this morning was a beaut. Loud and spray and gorgeous lighting. Helicopter from the police coming this way, or at least going to the coast in our vicinity. Howdy Peter, goedemiddag. And indeed, of course, you had a great vacation. I definitely did. Particularly the day skiing with Wolfgang on Monday was terrific. We had good weather and it is nice to ski with somebody who is also able to get from A to B relatively quickly. We're waiting for the next arrival. There are a few wide bodies underway, but they aren't back to back. Particularly looking in Germany, but I think by the time those get here, we might actually start seeing parallel arrivals again. The next arrival here will be Delta Airlines flight 48, arriving from New York JFK. That's an A330 still flying over the coast of the Gulf of Yorkshire, actually, before the coastline. That is going to be the first next airplane to arrive here, followed by a heap of narrow bodies once again. Number 175, I'm seeing another Air France A220. Tapped by Portugal, also coming this way. John Dutch Canadian also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Happy New Year to you and yours. John McKenzie also tuning in from Hong Kong. Good evening, mate. Where have you been? Well, I've been in the Alps skiing. In fact, I'll go back there to Italy this time in a few weeks from now. To go at it again.
Maybe I'm going to be a streamer also 2 holidays.
Yeah, well, indeed, indeed. Paul is tuning in from Africa. Now, that is a very, very big continent. Where are you exactly located? Welcome back. Chris Dutch North says, good afternoon, boy. Welcome back. Good afternoon, everybody in Dutch. Good afternoon to you too, Chris. Happy New Year. And good to be back. Delta Airlines Flight 48 is approaching. Not sure to what extent we can see it already. I think you really need to know where you need to look. And with the cloudy backdrop, it is a bit harder to see the airplanes approaching. On paper, it should be visible from here, judging flight radar. It's probably somewhere behind the excrement bridge here, which, for those of you who are wondering, is a temporary contraption which will probably be here for some time to come still, since they are renewing the pressure pipes of the sewage. That's a long-term project. These pipes that you're seeing over here have been here for a year now, I think, over a year now. I think it was in autumn 2024 that they started constructing it. And they haven't, I don't think they've even begun to renew the pipes yet, or at least not here in the vicinity. So it's going to be a long time before this piece of equipment will be removed. Now, in the meantime, I think I have spotted the A330. It was a bit lower and more vague to see than I thought it was, but there it is. Delta Airlines Flight 48, our next airplane. Turning final, arriving from New York, JFK. It's an A330. Thus far, the Delta A330s have not disappointed in the audio department. Hopefully, the pilot of this airplane will also not let us down. Goedemiddag, Allison. And Danny also back. Goedemiddag. Happy New Year, mate. Gilberto says, we are waiting for you to take a soup of what we call bombardino at the chalets along the slopes. I've had bombardino before because I knew of that drink. And I thought I should give it a try, even though we also have a yellow liqueur type of drink in the Netherlands, a bit more thick than bombardino. It's called advocaat, and that I don't like. I tried bombardino. Different strokes for different folks is all I say. not exactly my type of beverage, but I have tried it before. I think I'll stick with hot cocoa and rum instead, or just regular coffee. In the meantime, Karsten... Sorry?
Advocaat is a little bit of an old lady's drink.
Yeah, exactly. It's insofar as you can call it a drink, because I think you have to actually scoop it with a little teaspoon. Karsten is also back, and Karsten is celebrating because he turned green today, 1 year, and loved each stream. He is a member for 12 years, and I thank you for that, Karsten. Congratulations, and thank you so much for your ongoing support, 12 months and counting, and I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If it isn't, let me know. Now, Karsten also went ahead and massively started gifting memberships, 20 no less. That is extremely generous, mate. Thank you so much. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Those 20 new members, courtesy of Karsten. If you are one of the recipients of his gifted memberships, make sure to say thank you to Karsten or Dankeschön. He will understand both Have fun with the custom emojis that you'll now have at your disposal as well. Don't be shy to use them. They're not on a budget. You can use them as much as you want, and the more inappropriately you can think of ways to use those custom emojis, the more fun they'll become. So make sure that you use them and have fun with them. Karsten, thank you so much, not only for the gifted membership, but also for the ongoing support in the lounge. If anything is amiss, let me know. That goes for all members. If there's anything I can improve on, I want to hear it.
Some unusual stuff above England, like Eurofighters over here.
Oh, yeah.
I've got some Qatar Air Force stuff above Leeds.
Interesting. Maybe a military practice going on, a rehearsal in the vicinity of Leeds. I've seen it before. They have more military bases, and you see fighter jets also on flight radar much more regularly above England than you do above the Netherlands. But it is interesting to see. Delta not disappointing. Once again, Delta delivers. This was flight 48, returning from New York JFK. 6 hours and 6 minutes it was underway. Now having touched down the November 802 November whiskey. Jeff says Greenland, it's Greenland. Yeah, just you wait before you'll know it. I mean, England is also strategically positioned between Europe and the United States, and we don't want China or Russia to take hold of England. Maybe I should send an email to the White House. Anyway, we're digressing into pastures that we shouldn't tread on in this chat. Let's see what is on the glide slope right now. It's a triplet of narrow bodies, and a fourth narrow body is approaching. We have number 175 arriving from Cardiff as first arrival, KLM 1088. After that, we have a Bombardier C Series, aka an A220, another Air France arriving from Paris. TAP by Portugal, flown by tap dancers instead of pilots, arriving from Lisbon as third. Transavia A321neo next after that, arriving from Barcelona, and an Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Düsseldorf next after that. So it's narrow bodies galore once again. Last time I checked earlier this morning, the A380 was expected to land here around 120. Why don't we have a look on flight radar and see where it is right now, and also have a look at where the Retro Transavia is at. So Retro Transavia has already entered Dutch airspace, as you can see. ETA 12:47, so that's 16 minutes out still. We'll probably be able to pick it up as it is going downwind over the coastline behind us. In the meantime, the A380 has entered into Dutch German airspace, just a bit to the south of Jena. 1:18 is still its estimated time of arrival. That still means that it's not going to land on the Polderbaan, but on the center runway instead. Center will reopen at 1 o'clock local time, which you will find in the bottom left corner of your screen. In other words, in a half hour from now, another hour of parallel arrivals. Now, from over here, we can see traffic to the center runway really well. So we should be able to see the A380 beautifully from the side. In fact, with the little wind that we have today, I think we should also hear its reversers quite well, assuming that they will be deployed, which the A380 often does. Not always, but often they do, more often than not. This is the Verhuzzer, Foxtrot Hotel Zulu Uniform Romeo, arriving from Paris, flight 1640, A220-300, 45 minutes it was on the way to get here. Nominal flight duration. Now, even with a relatively boring livery like Air France's, it still looks pretty. I think a thin Air A220 would also be beautiful. That minimalistic livery looks gorgeous on the A350. Imagine seeing an A220 in that livery. That would be a beaut. Absolutely, it would be. Next is TAP Air Portugal. TAP Air Portugal, arrival from Lisbon. Star Alliance livery, flight 668, A320 Neo. Registration Charlie Sierra Tango Victor Foxtrot. 2 hours and 21 minutes on the way. Double truck in the background. Or oh, those are trailers with those cabins that those workers on construction sites have their lunch breaks in. Or at least that's what it looked like from here. Didn't know those were transported whole. I thought they were assembled on site, but if it is what I thought I was looking at, of course. And indeed, Karsten, I did already mention it several times, but I'll happily repeat myself. Karsten asking how my vacation was. It was great. Of the 6 days that I went skiing, the first 4 days had good weather. The last 2 days we had more cloudiness and also more snow, so conditions were a bit harder to ski in. That plus increased fatigue made that I didn't go out for as long as I did on the first 4 days. Day number 2, the Monday, was a great day. We had good weather and me and Wolfgang met up in the morning already and we went for a full day of skiing together. Arriving back at the last stop pretty late. In fact, the ski buses had stopped driving already. They stopped at 5 and we came down the mountain at twilight, near dark actually, more rather. At 5:30, so Wolfgang also dropped me at my hotel because otherwise it would have meant an at least 20-minute walk. But yeah, it was great. The only thing that could have been better was the food in the hotel. I booked a 4-star hotel, but the food certainly the vegetarian menu wasn't 4-star. I've been to 3-star hotels that served better meals for vegetarians than this hotel did with 4 stars. But I'll get my redemption next month when I'll be going to Italy, to the same hotel I've been a couple of times before already. That's 4-star and that has so many options. That's absolutely perfect. But yeah, also happy to see that the Citroen C1 managed to transport me safely back and forth. It was nice being on the Autobahn and overtaking cars on the left lane, from the left lane. I imagine that some of those BMW drivers must have had a double look to see, hey, that small little Citroen C1 is overtaking me. Crazy Dutch. Alright, this is KLM flight 1800, arriving from Düsseldorf. And the flock of Geese, I think, is crossing right overhead. Lovely to see. And another twin jet overhead. Contrail. Probably on its way to the United States from Frankfurt. That's Qatar. Says so on the tin. quite clearly visible. All right. In the meantime, another E2 Embraer is arriving here. Another one from Hamburg, flight 1754. After that, BA City Flyer arrived from London City, an Embraer 190. Indeed, Edwin, that's what the NL stands for on your car. Nur links varen. Only on the left side. For those of you who don't understand German. Well, I had to go to the far right whenever it became a bit hilly. Had to go back to the 4th gear, not to lose too much speed. Yeah, no, I've been on skiing trips with a car before, but that was a corporate lease car years ago. It had a bit more power to weight than my current car. Then again, if you throttle back, keep the revs a bit higher, there's no problem. Alright, now BA City Flyer is next. The next airplane after that is flying base, but not too far away. Trying to see if I can spot the next airplane, number 2, in between the excrement bridge pipes, but it's hard to make out. Russell, in the meantime, is still sitting over there, overlooking us. Looking at his two-legged minions, thinking, good. We know who's the boss. BA City Flyer, flight 8489, Embraer 190 arriving from London City. 37 minutes on the way, the Golf Lima Charlie Yankee Juliet. 16-year-old airplane, first flight January 2010. Marissa says my car already doesn't like the Kouberg in Limburg. Throttle back, Marissa. Go back to 4th gear, or if you're in 4th, go back to 3rd. Go back a gear. You'll see the car will be able to handle the hill much more easily. Yeah, and particularly the day skiing with Wolfgang was great. I've skied with friends before, but those all have been friends who picked up skiing later in life and who just weren't as agile and fast as I am. And Wolfgang also, of course, knows how to ski. So we could make some kilometers and really explore the Saalbach Hinterglemm area. In fact, we went back and forth to Fieberbrunn. It was great. Had good lunch on the mountain as well. Käsespätzle. Later in the week, I also had Germknödel in the same restaurant in a big puddle of vanilla sauce. Hey, Lise de Buzer. Lise de Buzer has returned. How are you doing? Fast and agile man. How are you doing, young lady? This is the Peter Pan livery, Peter Pan Vacation Club, which is a good cause organization that I think, if I recall correctly, offers vacations for disabled children or children who are sick, at least, chronically ill. This is returning from Valencia. Is it a beautiful livery? I personally think not. It is striking. It's instantaneously recognizable. But yeah, there you go. Hey Roxana, good afternoon. Happy New Year. Colin has a break in school and can also watch again. Yoo-hoo! He writes in Dutch. Welcome back, Colin. Hope the school day isn't too tedious. Peter Poop. Hey. Those birds are flying away for the Embraer. And rightly so. As you can see, there's always a lot to see here at Schiphol. That's lot flight 263 in the background, and Embraer 190 arriving from Warsaw. Retro Transavia, in the meantime, has snuck past us and is already to the northwest. I'm looking briefly to see if I can spot something, but it's like finding a needle in a haystack, particularly with narrow bodies. Shouldn't be too far out anymore. Marissa says, I don't understand the blue part at the nose. Oh, but the rest of the livery you do understand. By all means, would you care to explain, Marissa? Because to me it seems like it's a lot of random, well, not completely random, but seemingly random things being put together on top of an airplane. For me, the entire livery is a big puzzle. Then again, it might be that I didn't drink enough vodka yet, so let's take a sip in a moment. See if that makes things more clear. Polished landing there. Lot flight 263 arriving from Warsaw. Now, the tufted ducks that we saw here before no longer seem to be in the vicinity, looking to the south in the canal. I'm not seeing any birds anymore. Though there definitely have been ducks over there. I do see moorhens over there, though not in the water. Let me pour me a small glass. Hey Pete, what up mate? Happy New Year. Good to see you again. Happy New Year to you and yours. It's good to be back. Storm Eagle says, for Eastern Germans only, lot is landed oog in Tempelhof. Okido, so this is KLM flight 1818, arriving from Frankfurt, Embraer 190. After that, a Transavia A321neo arriving from Faro in Portugal. Hey, fijne dag man. Ja, is goed. Hoi hoi. Next up, Transavia, flight 5653, arriving from Faro in Portugal, 2 hours 26 minutes on the way. Papa Hotel, Yankee. The airplane left of it is an E2 Embraer 195, which seems to be a relocation flight. KLM 9935 is what it says on flight radar, and that usually means it's relocation or training or returning from maintenance. It's coming from Firenze, Florence. And we can also see the lights of a third airplane already, and that should be the retro Transavia. Transavia flight 6144, returning from Alicante. Hey, that's either Fidel or Raul Kestrel hovering there. Mercer says it feels like the Peter Pan has like square stickers on it. One of Peter Pan, a star and a heart, but the blue part at the nose is just there. Yeah. I think maybe they had some sticker left and they thought we should also do something with the nose. Let's not go for a black circle like retro. Let's go for something more youthly. Why not go for something blue? I have no idea that would be an interesting question to ask to somebody who works at Transavia or maybe historically has worked at Transavia at the time that the Peter Pan was given a green light for. Who thought of this? What's the underlying thought, the underlying idea? Is it supposed to mean something? Is the nose just random? Or is there a certain pattern that you can see? Jeff says it's a cold nose. That's definitely the case. Blue and white. I'm not sure if a person's nose gets really cold, it usually gets bleak. Not necessarily blue, more whitish. So if it is blue and white, it must be freezing cold. Anyway, E2 Embraer 195. If you water them properly, they'll grow into fully fledged 777s. Big carrying cabin in the back. The carrying cabin doesn't grow along. So if you water these airplanes and they'll grow into 777s, the carrying cabin will actually stay the same size, but on a 777 that's fully grown, it looks a lot smaller. Here it looks like a big white pimple. But don't tell that to Garen. Your cabin is that big white pimple where you can sit secluded from the rest. Now have a look at this cutie patootie. This is Transavia, flight 6144. We know and recognize it as the retro livery Transavia, returning from Alicante in España. 2 hours 12 minutes on the way, the Papa Hotel, Yankee Hotel Delta. We saw it getting delivered. That was back in July 2025. Adri has to go visit somebody who is celebrating their birthday. Enjoy, Adri. See you tomorrow, mate. Storm Eagle says, rivet joint overhead in the north. Well, looking up to the north, insofar as I can see blue sky, I'm not seeing anything producing a contrail. I think I need some more directions where to look. Look at that cute boop the snoot snooty. who of you guys watching right now has already flown this airplane? I for one haven't. Artem says that the Cathay Cargo 747, that is the one that went to the wrong runway, is lining up on 18 left already. So we should be able to see that in the distance. Not too long from now. In fact, a bit more to the left from where the retro is now taxiing. If I had to guess, I'd say it'll emerge a bit to the right of the main tower in a moment. Let's see. So the Cathay 7478 that we were supposed to see here on the Polderbaan because it arrived at 10 to 11, but it actually got assigned to the center runway already. ATC continuing to hate us with a vengeance. If you're thinking why is the camera pointed in the direction of seemingly nothing, it is because there is a 747 that's leaving from over there right now, or shortly, and we should be able to see it, at least see a glimpse of it, once it has cleared the ground and the trees over there. I think there it is, and I was wrong. It was a bit to the left of the main tower. There you go. Must be light then. Maybe it isn't. I have no idea. Most of you will know by now that I am also sometimes just rambling, not making any sense. Not even to myself on occasion. But there's the Cathay 7478, the one that got away from us. And once again, leaving far away from us. It's like we're being actively avoided. Lord Andrew also back. Happy New Year, mate. Welcome back. And all the best for 2026 to you and yours. Sardi is also back. Happy New Year, Sardi. All the best for the new year to you and yours. Jaco, goedemiddag. And Sardi, thank you so much for your incredible generosity. Sardi just now gifting 5 memberships. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Those 5 new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Sardi if you are one of the recipients of Sardi's gifted memberships. Have fun with the custom emojis that you now have at your disposal. Now, we can also see that ATC once again is a few minutes early with opening up the center runway. It is 5 minutes to 1. Normally speaking, it should open up around 1 o'clock. If you're thinking I'm hearing all kinds of birds, that's because K2 has arrived on the scene and it is using its sound effect board. And Marissa has to go. She is on best friend duty this weekend and her best friend forever is dealing with some drama. So I don't know if I'll be able to join you this weekend. Well, if you want some lighter stuff than drama, you know where to find us. All the best and thank you for joining, Marissa. Hopefully see you this weekend. If not, we know where you are. Take care. And thanks for your presence here today. Don't you think about it, Jeff. Jeff says, ooh, mischief time. Absolutely not. Don't you think about it. All right, so parallel arrivals have begun. That's a bummer because Kuwait is approaching. Kuwait flight 127, A330neo. But that's going to the wrong runway, ladies and gentlemen. I was cautiously optimistic this morning when I saw that it was arriving around 1 o'clock. I thought, well, maybe we get to see the Kuwait A330 on the Polderbaan, but it's not meant to be today. Here's Lufthansa. Another Turkish widebody is also approaching, not too far behind Kuwaiti, but yeah, since the center is open, that's where it will land on. We're sticking around for the A380. That's expected in 20 or so minutes from now. After that, I think I'm going to wrap up. Should be back again with another stream tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll still be in time to take reception of my long-awaited new tripod. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to do a stream with the new Sachtler. In the meantime, thank you so much, Sardi, for your Happy New Year wishes. Happy New Year to you and yours as well, mate. Hope 2026 will bring you a lot of happiness, health and prosperity. Here we have BA, arriving from London Heathrow. And this is the GOA. Forgoing the first exit. Jeff is really hopeful, really optimistic about the A380. Might get the A380. I wouldn't want to bet too much money on that, Jeff. I think you'll lose your money if you think it is going to happen. But you never know. Things might happen. We might get an unexpected positive surprise, but I'm not counting on it. Not today. Hey Raif, good afternoon. Beste wensen. Gelukkig nieuwjaar. Happy New Year to you and yours as well. And Mrs. J, good afternoon. Happy New Year to you and yours. Mrs. J is tuning in all the way from Africa. In fact, Johannesburg. In the meantime, Lisa has grown into a full adult member, 18 months and counting, 1.5 years. It feels like much longer already, but in a good way. Now, thank you so much for your continued support, Lisa. It's always a pleasure to have you in the chat. Even more so when you join as ground crew. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know. If we need to buy stuff, I'll put it on the groceries list. Hopefully you'll stick around for many, many more months to come. Not just as a member in the lounge, but in general. One and a half years, how time has flown by. Hey there, Nick. Good afternoon. Carol, good afternoon. Happy New Year to you and yours. And welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are here at Polderbaan, Runway 18 right. It has already turned 1 and we have parallel arrivals right now. 2 747s arrived this morning. One of them landed here on the Polderbaan, Suparna. And what a beautiful landing it was. It was loud. It was nebulous. There was moisture on the runway and they reversed, so a lot of spray. The lighting was good. Now unfortunately, the second 747 that was meant to land on this runway did not go here. Went to the center runway. The A380 was already never going to land here because of its time of arrival. It should arrive in less than 20 minutes. We can see the gear extending on the next airplane arriving on the Polderbaan. That's EasyJet flight 22163 arriving from Persenchester. A little bit before it, but flying to the other runway, is Kuwaiti Airways flight 127 arriving from Kuwait City. The 9K Alpha Papa Lima. 6 hours and 5 minutes on the way. Chippies. Crisps. You're so crispy. Well, we still have a bag left, so we should be good for the short run. And we'll need to do some groceries in the weekend regardless, so we'll make sure to have ample chippies before we're running out. Kuwait Airways, flight 127, arriving from Kuwait City, 6 hours and 6 minutes on the way. It's an A330neo. Brand new. Means less than a year old. Its first flight was in May 2025. Ah, okay. Jeff was such a derp looking at UTC, not CET. Derp. Speaking of derp, Herpa. I haven't seen Herpa in a while. The Embraer 190 special livery from German Airways. Is it still flying, or have they repainted it back to standard livery like they did with the PHBVD? And Jackie is back from the lounge. Good to have you back, mate. Right, that's the Kuwait A330neo. That's the sound of the reversers. Which we should also be able to hear when the A380 will land pretty soon. Next up is EasyJet flight 22163 arriving from Persenchester. 52 minutes on the way. And this is the Geese Golf Echo Zulu Oscar Echo. So, current status quo, looking to the south, we can see the sun and we see mostly blue sky. We began the show today with this, then it became a little more cloudy. Now, once again, things have opened up nicely. And if I'm not mistaken, we should have similar weather in the upcoming days. This is looking to the west, to the North Sea, as some still call it. We call it the Gulf of Yorkshire. Then inward, looking to the east, is where we can find the most clouds right now. And at the northerly horizon, we can also see them. Shady figure in the grass, waving to you guys. Be careful, don't take any treats from shady figures like that. Here we have an E2 Embraer 195, KLM flight 1944, arrived from Basel in Switzerland. And you could already see a glimpse of a bigger airplane that was flying left of it. That was Turkish. There it is, Turkish Airlines, flight 1957, arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. And that's an A330-200. Flight time has been 3 hours and 4 minutes, that's nominal. Istanbul, Amsterdam, as well as Athens, Amsterdam, averages around 3 hours of flight. In other words, this is right on schedule. Oh, also trying to open up a bit more information on Flight Radar while trying to follow the airplane. So that I can tell you the registration is Tango Charlie Juliet India Tango TC JIT if you get jittery, it might be because of this airplane. It's 17 years old already. It began flying in December 2008. More E2 Embraers landing here in the foreground. Next airplane coming to the Polderbaan is arriving from Guayaquil. That's a port town in a country called Ecuador. Let's quickly turn around the camera and focus on it. There it is. KLM flight 751 arriving from Guayaquil. 10 hours and 51 minutes on the way. 777-200 the Papa Hotel, Bravo Quebec Bravo. 22-year-old airplane. First flight October 2003. At its 8 o'clock you can already see the next airplane. That's KLM flight 1502 arriving from Madrid. That's a 737-800. The third airplane is almost directly under the number 2. You can see the lights. It's Ryanair flight 420 arriving from Dublin, Ireland. It's a MAX 8 737. Don't forget, if you like glide slopes like this, leave a like if you haven't already. If you want to support the channel for free, liking and subscribing is the way to do so. It will bring in more viewers in the future, more gezelligheid. And just as it was about to get gezellig, Lisa has to go. See you later. Thanks for stopping by, Lisa. We'll see each other again soon enough, no doubt. KLM flight 751. And right now only one airplane on the glide slope to the center runway. It's flying parallel to this 777. KLM flight 1294 arrived from Billund. Wouldn't it be nice if they were to do a runway inspection on the center runway right as the A380 was approaching Schiphol, so that in fact the A380 would land on Polderbaan after all. Now, let's be realistic, that's not going to happen. Still, it's happened before. Unexpected reassignments. ATC already robbed us from 17478 this morning, so if they want to redeem themselves, they should allow us the A380. Another Emirates is already approaching, Emirates Sky Cargo. In the vicinity of Purmerend. Let's do a little practice round because the scale of chimney smoke chimneys are in the vicinity of Purmerend, or at least Purmerend lies behind those. So the Emirates triple should be in the vicinity over there, probably already a bit further to the left. Practice round to see if we can spot the A380 once it will fly there early. Not yet. Am I able to see anything? The A380 usually stands out. If it is visible, if there aren't any clouds in the way, it usually is very easy to see. I think you might be right, Gilberto. It might be a conspiracy. ATC conspiring against AMS Live viewers. Wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. Because we all know that this channel is so important that that is what is up there on their minds. There's a nice slew of wide bodies approaching from the east, but unfortunately they're all going for the center runway. We should be able to see them quite well from here, of course, but still it's not the same as when they are actually landing on the Polderbaan. Qatar Cargo is turning in. And behind it, no, Emirates Sky Cargo is turning in, and behind it is the A350-1000 from Qatar. That's also a nice one. We don't get to see the A350-1000 every time, so whenever we do get a chance to see it, it's always nice. It's the A350-1000 from Cathay Pacific that we see most regularly. Now Qatar does on occasion fly A350-1000s to Amsterdam. I was just renewing one of the batteries of my heated gloves that had given out, which is why I didn't follow the Ryanair immediately. Let's look and listen if they'll reverse. Ryanair pilots often use their reversers. Those Max 8s can also get loud if they do get applied, those reversers. Think we have our answer? Not today. Seems to be a recurring theme. Cathay 7478 to the Polderbaan? Not today. A380 to the Polderbaan? Not today. Jackie already mentions what we were rationally expecting, namely that the assignment has been for the center runway of the A380, that is. Corendon World to Fly A350 is in the vicinity of Alkmaar. Now, if all is well, that should be coming this way. In the meantime, I see a twin jet passing overhead. Has just passed me by. What's this? Ah, Condor. Instantaneously recognizable as such. Lovely. Okay, back to the business on ground level, near ground level. This is KLM flight 1176. Another airplane crossing the path of Condor just now overhead, but that's a narrow body, so I'm not going to point the camera up for that. Another E2 Embraer over here. Condor on the way to Canada, Xydon says. Thanks for keeping us informed. Now, the next arrival to the center runway is Emirates Sky Cargo, arriving from Dubai World Center. That's a 777 freighter, 7 hours and a minute underway. The Alpha 6 Echo Foxtrot November. 11-year-old airplane, first flight June 2014. Now, the A380 is approaching, but it is still pretty far to the north. It's flying further to the north than normally would have been the case. I'm trying, but it's not a good idea. Trying to look over the camera to the left to see if I can spot something resembling the A380. Of course, that means I'm not following the other Emirates as accurately as I can. You can see Emirates Sky Cargo has that updated tail, the ribbon tail, which our members already have access to for a long time. They're not hurrying up with updating those airplanes, their fleet. Most of the times whenever we see airplanes with this ribbon tail, it's Emirates Sky Cargo. Now, somewhere over there in the distance should be an Emirates A380 on its base leg approaching the glide slope of the center runway, and I think, yep. As you can see, it stands out. It's a big machine, so even if it is far away, as long as there are no clouds in the way, it helps that the backdrop is blue, makes it a bit more contrasty than a cloudy backdrop. There it is, Emirates Flight 147 arriving from Dubai, beginning its turn, approaching the localizer, then turning final, going to the center runway. In the meantime, over here we have a small Embraer landing, but next after that will be the Corendon World to Fly A350, so I'm going to stop following the A380 in a moment to focus on the A350 that will be landing here on the Polderbaan before the A380 gets really close. You'll hear EasyJet that just now landed here. And here is the Corendon World to Fly A350-900, flight 5990, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. What a beautiful machine it is. A350s are always good looking, but with some liveries it looks even better than with others. Finnair, one of the best liveries I think for the machine. World to Fly Corendon also gets really close by. I've seen A350s in with the Qatar livery. I don't think that looks that impressive. Now, this A350 has been flying for 9 hours and 14 minutes. It is the ECNZF Echo Charlie November Zulu Foxtrot. 2 years old, first flight May 2023. Hey there, RDW, goedemiddag. Good to see you again. Milan, goedemiddag. Happy New Year to you all. For those of you who joined and I haven't greeted yet, if you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like. This is the grand finale of today's show. The Emirates A380 is now third to arrive on the center runway and should be on the glide slope already. Question is, where is it? This is going to the Polderbaan. Usually you don't have to look that much further. There it is. Further to the right to see airplanes going to the center runway when they are still very far away. So that A350 still has the gear up. Let me go overboard with some digital zoom. It looks a bit pixelated, but we will be able to see the gear extension quite well when it happens. Most of you who are regular viewers of the channel will know by now the difference between the main gear deployment of the A380 and that of a 747. When the gear will deploy, the outer main gear will come out first. It will lock in place first, then the inner main gear will come out. That will too lock in place. Then all the hatches will go shut again, and the gear will have extended. While with a 747, all 4 main gears come out more or less simultaneously. They'll lock almost simultaneously, and then all the hatches will close again. Here you can see outer main gear comes out first. Locks in place. Inner main gear comes out. You can see the nose gear is already out. Now comes the inner main gear. Once those are also locked in place, you'll see that the hatches, insofar as they can close, will close again to reduce drag. And there you go, 1 extended gear on an A380. The A380 now number 2, with the number 1 crossing right on the other side of where I'm standing. Today's A380 will be the last airplane for today's show. I will end the stream today after the A380, but I should be back again for another stream tomorrow. The weather should be good, and on Sunday too. Hopefully tomorrow the first stream with a new tripod. More than a month I've had to wait for it. Really looking forward to it. If you guys joined later, it might be worthwhile to have another look at the 747 landing this morning, the one from Suparna. I might even turn it into a separate video. It was very nice, the lighting was good, the sound was good. There was spray. Today we also saw the premiere of a new special livery, at least for us, from Air Canada. Raise the flag or something. That was also new to us. Channel premiere. And now the A380 is flying right across from where I'm standing. We should hear the reversers if they do get applied. I think it's blowing in our direction more or less. Hey Steven Carter, good to see you, mate. Happy New Year to you and yours as well. All the best for the new year. Now, hope you guys enjoyed the show. I certainly had great fun being out here again. Make sure to leave a like if you haven't already. Make sure to tune in again tomorrow. Let's listen for the reversers. Hope you guys were able to pick it up a bit on the mic. I certainly heard it here in real life. A massive big thanks to everybody for joining me here today. I said it before, I'll say it again. I had a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I should be out again tomorrow with another stream. Looking forward to seeing you all then. For now, take care. Stay safe, stay healthy. A massive big thanks to all the support, all the super chats, super stickers, the many gifted memberships, any PayPal donations that might have occurred, and merch shop purchases. Thank you all so much. You guys are what makes this channel so great. Thank you also moderators, every one of them, for keeping the chat friendly and accessible to all. Looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow. For now, I am signing off. Peace out, see ya, take care, and speak soon. Bye for now, guys.